get it right. It's gonna be this time, I'll get it right. Gotta let it be this time, I'll get it right.
Ray has a new car, finally. It took, what, a little over a week, I think, but it felt like forever. You know, he looked at every car out there in the world, it seems like, and they were all either a scam or somebody just wouldn't get back up with him. And that week felt like a year. I was kind of there with him every step of the way and trying to look at him with him and whatnot. And I'm telling you guys, he has got one now though. This is an 88 Mustang GT, pretty much all original. Guys, look at this thing. Look how straight. Is that not amazing? Look at that back bumper. You don't find them like this anymore. That's awesome. All the body lines on this car are straight. As you can see, even the trunk is just amazing. That's awesome. This is, yeah, 75,000 original miles on this car, and it has not rolled over. I can promise you that. You can look at the car and tell. This thing is just so clean. Now, he's not done anything to the car other than wash the outside of it. So the car has kind of set up for years, and it just needs to be kind of gone through and detailed. The ashtray lid, somebody at some point put something in there, probably some type of CB or radio or something from back in the day, who knows, but that's locked down. He's going to order all the new pieces that he needs eventually and going to just kind of go through everything and clean it up. There's some old school stuff in it still, that's kind of cool, but car's just exceptionally clean. Let me show you the mileage. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but 75,000 miles. That is crazy. This is a true survivor. You just don't see them like this anymore. I don't think really anything's been done to it. It's even still got the factory headlights in it. Bumper is straight. I do want to show you this. This is the thing that impressed me the most about this car. Look at how everything lines up on this car. Look how straight that is. I mean, that bumper is perfectly straight across the bottom. The hood meets up to the bumper perfect. It's got one busted fog light. That's it. Those are factory headlights, and I'm sure, you know, factory fog lights too. This thing is just so clean and so straight. So today we are going to address a few little issues that it has. We're going to address this, and what else we're going to do? We're going to clean under the hood a little bit.
Try to figure out what kind of alarm system.
Yeah, alarm system. Oh, and these, just going to probably order some new ones, or we'll find some at some point. That was a common thing that people did once these things kind of break or they want to upgrade speakers. They just cut a hole and stick them in there. So I'm sure back in the day it wasn't that big of an issue, but now these things are dry rotted and horrible looking, so we're gonna have to fix that. But I do have a question for you guys, and we have researched, or Ray has, as best he could, about this alarm system in this car. What we can't understand, is it a factory deal, or is this something that the dealership did? And if it's something that the dealership did, why does it say Ford on the key fob? We don't really know, to be honest with you. And on top of that, locks the car and unlocks the car. Lock, unlocks, locks the car. Just can't really figure it out. There's the light for it, so we figure it is some type of an aftermarket deal, but you know, can't really explain the key fob, so maybe you guys can help us out here. Also, there's a switch in here that seems to arm and disarm the alarm. Not sure on that. I'm sure that was some type of an aftermarket deal too. Just so you know, Ray doesn't really have a lot of plans for the car. He wants to keep it stock. He's probably even, well, he's talking about even keeping the stock exhaust. So he'll probably put some wheels on it and maybe kind of level the car out. We don't know why the back sits lower than the front, so don't know that, but we'll probably just get the car leveled out, a set of new headlights, and he is going to keep those if he gets a new pair. And that's it, just wheels, maybe lower it a little bit, clean it up and drive it. So right here, it appears that at some point this car had a red stripe. And if any of you know, was it an option for a gray interior car to have a red stripe, or was this added? Or is this piece just off of another car? We're just trying to figure that out. From everything I remember, it was color coded to the inside of the car, but it may have been, you know, an option for the buyer to order the car with whatever color stripe you want. I'm not sure about that. Like I said, leave me a comment below, let me know. I'm gonna test this out today. So this is Patterson Car Care. You guys probably know him as That Dude in Blue on YouTube. I've used this stuff and it works really good. there's a little bit of a kind of just build up on these rims over time. Now Ray has washed them, so we're gonna see if this stuff can tackle that. All right, I'm not trying to make a full review of this, okay? We're just gonna spray it on these rims and see what happens. Just so you know ahead of time, when we spray it, all the iron, the brake pads is supposed to turn purple, so we will see what happens. I'll show you this in real time. Ooh. Word to the wise, it stinks. It's only going to turn purple where there's brake dust. So that tells me right there that the majority of this is brake dust. Now, on just any wheel, I probably wouldn't recommend spending the money to buy this. Now, this stuff is really good, but come on, a little bit of elbow grease and a rag or a brush and you can get this stuff off. On these wheels though, they are a nightmare to get into all these little nooks and crannies. So this may be perfect for this wheel. They say about, I think it's 30-45 seconds or so. We're gonna let it sit a little bit longer and not gonna touch it. We're just gonna rinse it off. But considering this stuff's been on here so long, we're probably gonna have to take a brush and agitate it just a little bit. I'm impressed to have not have touched these wheels. Look how much come off. So something like this, you're supposed to just be able to get in here and just kind of lightly agitate. You spend another 10 minutes on this wheel with some more of this cleaner and you've got something. Now you're able to maintain your wheel. So anyway guys, in my book, this is a big thumbs up. So you know, I don't have a promotion code, I don't have anything like that, I'm not sponsored by them, but check it out, Patterson Car Care, that dude in blue, go get you a bottle of it. Did Mr. Ray just get a new Foxbody?
Yeah, he got a white one.
He got a white one? Yeah. So is it pretty?
Yeah.
So Ray brought me a little surprise. The one LED that I've been missing in my car, he brought it over to me. So thank you, Ray.
No problem, man.
He's always looking out for me. And so Ray went ahead and put one in his car. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Man, that just really cleans the back of this car up. Not that it needed that. Damn thing's already clean, but look at that though. That's perfect. So this car will eventually have all LEDs in it too, I'm sure, just because, you know, he did it in his other car. It's cheap. And I'll put a link down below to these bulbs and also the bulbs that I use in the interior of my car and for the LEDs for the headlights. Might as well go ahead and kill all those birds with one stone. So the next thing on the list is this little rust spot. Obviously something just kind of chipped the paint and it started to rust. Look, this isn't necessarily a tutorial on how to do this or whatever, but I'm just gonna kind of show you some of the things that we're addressing today. But I will go over how I'm gonna do this. First off, that's just a rust stain at the bottom, so you can get that off. Once you get that off, we're gonna apply a paint pen over the top right here and just kind of blend it in. Now, know that this is not gonna be a permanent fix. We're not gonna put any rust stop or anything like that on it today. We don't have anything to do that with. But eventually this car is going to go and get the fender repainted or at least burnt in, and the back hatch, there's a little spot in the back, he's going to get that taken care of, and there's a little nick down here. So yeah, I know guys, we're nitpicking, right? But this car is so straight, it deserves to have all this stuff done right. So these three things will be fixed on the car, and he's going to take it down to Holt's Paint and Body, which is right here. Gonna take it down there and hopefully get them to do this. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and address this and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right guys, so for the rust stain, I'm sorry I didn't video to start with. For the rust stain, I'm just using a little bit of brake cleaner. We're gonna try this. We did get the stain off of it, so that already looks better. And on stuff like this, you're gonna have to apply a lot, but not as much as you think. And then what you want to do is just kind of move the paint around. It's going to take a couple different applications. All we're trying to do is just not make it as noticeable. So don't think that this is going to be a permanent fix and you can do this and nobody will ever know. This is, you know, that's pretty deep there and that's a lot of rust. So what you want to do is just get a light coat on it first, like that. And already, you know, if you were back just any type of distance, you wouldn't be able to see that. But we're going to let that dry down and we're going to come back with another coat. But as you can see, it already looks a lot better. Ray just reminded me. So when he bought the car, it had a little mist to it. You guys are you're gonna die when I tell you this. So you remember the car in this video? Okay, the car in this video, number 8 injector was unplugged on it. So the car ran good. But anyway, we got to looking at it and just found that the injector was unplugged, plugged it back in, and the car ran great. Not that the car necessarily ran bad to start with, but that was the issue. So Ray buys this car, says, man, the car feels like it's got a little mist to it. Brings it home, well, he starts looking. First thing he looks for is injectors, because he's been burnt with it also. He's had the exact same issue on his car. Injector was what unplugged. Injector was unplugged on the car. Car just didn't quite feel right, and he got to looking around one day and found that the injector was unplugged. So he gets home, he looks around, finds that the wires are chewed, and I'll show you in this picture. Finds that the wires are chewed going to the injector. So he diagnosed it the same way that we diagnosed the red car that was over here. Basically, he just pulled the plugs out, to see which one was firing, and he could tell that the back tube back there wasn't getting as hot, really not hot at all. So that's how he found out. But I'll show you a couple pictures, and I'll show you some pictures since Ray's got in the car. A few of the things that he did paint the intake and the valve covers on it. So I'll show you those pictures. So we're gonna try something a little different with this car. Ray wants to try to save his headlights. So next weekend, he's gonna take the headlights out of this car. These are factory headlights. And he's going to spray the inside of them with a degreaser. And then he's gonna put water in it, shake them up real good, dump it out, repeat until the inside of these lenses comes at least a little more clean. And once he does that, we're gonna wet sand these things, and I'm gonna try to shoot some clear on them at some point for them, and we're gonna try to save these factory headlights. So if you guys are interested in how to do that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to document as much of this as possible on how we go about doing it. Also, we found the fog light cover in the back of the car, so we put some E6000 on it, or shoe goo, and all I did was just put some tape on it to hold it in place until it dries. But look at that. Look how much better that looks with just the fog lights back installed, and we did clean the headlights up some. But Ray's gonna try to do that, here in the next week or so. And like I said, we'll document that as best as possible. I do want to say thank you for all the support, for supporting Ray throughout all this. It means a lot. And I know it's just a car, and the important thing is that he's safe and that his son's safe. But it does suck. You have a lot of money in these cars, a lot of time in these cars. So it does hurt when something like that happens, especially to have to sit there and watch it the way he did. But I do want to tell you guys, thank you so much for all the support. Ray is very appreciative of it. We've talked about it many times. So thank you guys, and until the next time, peace. What have you got to tell everybody out there on YouTube land? You want to tell them something really cool?
Yeah.
Tell them something, baby.
That Rena and mouses and kitty cats and doggies and blah blah blah.
You heard it there, guys. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching.